It's 5:18 p.m. We are in the Bluff Town Council special meeting. It's May 13th, 2025. Roll call.
Linda Sosa.
Jennifer Davila.
Luanne Hook.
Britt Hornsby.
Ann Leppanen.
Erin Nelson, serving as town manager.
Then the next thing is the public comment. There will be a 3-minute time limit for anyone wishing to make a public comment. If you wish to make a public comment, put your hand in the chat box or raise the hand icon. And if you're in the audience, of which we don't have anyone in the audience, it's staff and council. And if you exceed the 3-minute time limit, the meeting controller will mute you unless you have permission. So since we can clearly say no one is in the audience, do we have anyone online?
Yes, Sarah Barak would like to make a public comment.
All right. Sarah Barak.
Hi, guys. This probably should have been an agenda item, so I apologize. But we received word last Friday that we have received dark sky designation for Bluff as a community. So the next steps are basically pulling together our public announcement, and Dark Sky Association has given us parameters to pull that together. So Erin, Malia, if you have some time this next week, we can pull together the announcement, and then we can announce in the next 10, 12 days, and we'll be on the website and we're designated.
Wow. That is
If
amazing.
you guys will include Diana Davidson in that announcement, she will put it on our Bluff website too.
And she's on. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and kudos to Diana. She's already drafted an announcement that we can work from too. So I've got her rough draft as well.
We also have a community engagement and communications intern starting on Monday, who I'm going to pull into this as well. Who can kind of, look over and add to her resume. So,
That was a quick turnaround. So
great job, Sarah. Woohoo! And team, whole team. Very
Yeah.
excited.
A big team effort. So yeah, they basically, after that first review, they had no comments and just passed it on through. So we're certified. Now we just have to work on our announcement.
Wow.
Amazing.
That is just amazing. So can we send an announcement to Bruce Baird? This question.
They're going to put in the paper and all those kinds of things.
Yeah. I specifically want to send one to him because he made a very big deal of how we say we've applied for things, but we haven't finished them. So Bruce, I hope you're listening. Okay, that's my personal dig for the moment. Sarah, it's great. Let us know if you need help from anybody else.
Yeah,
And
I
I've got,
will. The big thing is we just don't want to announce anything until we put it through Dark Sky. So they want it to be timed at the same pace, and it takes them at least 10 days lead time. So we should pick a date and then be like 10 days from that, we'll make sure that Dark Sky Association has everything.
so yeah, maybe that's something you all can talk about and give me what dates we need to put it on the
So
agenda.
then we need to wait to put it on the website and everything then.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, Diana was way ahead of the game. She was, when she found out, she's like, I've got it drafted.
She's
Yay.
very excited.
Yeah.
She should be.
I think she's got her new telescope and her binoculars and her new camera. She's very excited.
I'm gonna release the stars shortly.
All right, then, anybody else online?
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you. Oh, look at that.
I do
Baby.
have a hand raised. Looks like from, was that Diana Davidson? No, I thought I saw a hand raised. Not seeing anyone else though. Okay, I don't think so.
Okay, public comments closed at 5:22. Then a review and a vote on amendments to Bluff's planning and zoning bylaws, code of conduct, rules of order and procedure. I had moved this off the last time. And now, of course, I can't, we had passed 2 of them, right? I'm going to call on Erin to help me with this.
So we had Yeah, we passed two, but we're still waiting on the anchor location.
And we still haven't had that back from Chris. So this is going to have to move again because that's what we're waiting for as an answer. I gave Chris McEnany a nudge over the weekend, and he said he would be working on a couple of things for us. Of things that have been sitting. One was planning and zoning's RV ordinance. One was the anchor location. There was a third and I don't remember it. So this will move to next week. Then what everybody's been waiting for, a little discussion on the election. So review of the 2025 election rules, the process and deadlines.
I'll be honest, I don't have too much yet. I'm still digging into some of like the costs associated if we wanted to run our own, the ability of us to be able to print our own ballots, looking into some of the auxiliary costs like a ballot box, for example. So I'm hoping that I can have at least an estimated cost if we were to run it ourselves, probably by the next meeting. But the big thing is that we do have a direct line of communication with the Lieutenant Governor's office, who has like the list of when everything needs to be done by. The big one was getting, the notice done here before May, so that's on track. But they have kind of routine trainings. The one thing that would probably be helpful is if we do want to move forward with doing it ourselves, if we have multiple ears on those trainings. So I think there's an upcoming one. So I can maybe send that around and we can at least pick one or two other people who can listen, and it'll give us an idea as to, our bandwidth and availability. But the Lieutenant Governor's office does have routine stuff. So yeah, I think maybe just with a little bit more data for you all to be able to decide which direction we want to go, it would probably be helpful. But as a reminder for those who are declaring, the period of time to declare will be between June 2nd and June 6th, so Monday through Friday, and they will come into the Blufftown offices, sign all the paperwork, do all the disclosures. It is definitely, it's a very serious process. And we want to reiterate again that, depending on how many people sign up, we'll determine whether we need to have a primary, and, just essentially, if we do have the primary, it doubles the cost of the election, right? So you're doing two elections. So, if folks do want to apply, excellent, they should sign up. But we just really want to get the word out and everyone be cognizant that, we don't want folks to take it lightly. Democratic process is good. But if you are not serious about running for office, if you just throw in your name in the hat just to rile folks up, if you are not intending to run for office, please do not sign up that week. But otherwise, if you want to participate and come to these wonderful meetings and help make decisions, then you should. So that's my little soapbox, and we'll get off of it. But yeah.
So just a reminder, there are 2 council positions open and a mayor position. And if we have more than 2 in any one of the categories, we will have a primary. If there are 2 in each category, if there's no more than 6, 2 in each, then we can move to the general. And that's what threw us off last time. So we don't want to incur costs. We don't need to, but we want people to definitely participate and declare if that's what they really want to do. So you'll just keep us updated.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I hear back on some of the costs.
Was there any follow-up on this decision with the county to help this?
We have not approached the county again after our meeting. I do think it's important that we have all the information we need so you all can, kind of point in a direction. I do think, one of the things Ann and I talked about was knowing the county is kind of dumping as much as possible, we would not want to put ourselves in the position that, okay, we'll take on this one and say, great, you can take it on and do it yourself no matter what. I think that is a reasonable risk. And so as we approach that decision, I would definitely recommend that you weigh, that possibility that they could say, great, you'll handle it from here on out. And that's probably not something that we would necessarily want to sign up for. So no, we have not yet, told them either way which way we're going. I don't think it would be a surprise though, we really were quite appalled at the figure that was given. And, you know, we didn't say it outright in the meeting, but it was clear that, you know, we were going to walk away and look at our options. So,
I did tell Mac McDonald last night that we would get back with him the next week to do some updating.
to confirm though, you have not received any drafted interlocal agreement or anything from them that would lock
No.
us into.
No, not other than the original interlocal agreement that estimated the cost at under 4,000.
I'm gonna just sign that one and send it back to them.
I'm tempted. So we've already covered 3, report on the public hearing in, on the Bluff Cemetery from Monday, May 12th, 2025. But assuming somebody just logged in and didn't listen to the work session, we had interesting discussions from the public and comments about how we should or should not have San Juan County involved in the special service district for Bluff Cemetery. There was representation by Hole in the Rock Foundation, by the public. There were 3 written comments that came in, but one of the written comments, that person also gave a oral comment. And overall, it's wait and see and continue the discussion on, do we actually have a special service district in San Juan County that covers cemeteries but excludes where our current burials are? Does the town of Bluff want to create a cemetery district separately, since where the current burials are not in the special service district? And then would we want to set up committees? So that's kind of a summary of where we're at. So stay tuned, but I really would like us to keep moving on this and get closure one way or another.
Would you send me that other written comment so I can get it posted on the website?
I gave Malia 2 of them. I apparently have lost the 3rd, although it might be at my desk at home.
Okay.
So Malia has both of those. And the 3rd one was from Liza Duran, written on a piece of cardboard that said, I'm sure that probably what I did is I lost the cardboard piece. The other 2 were electronic, and that was easy to give them to her. What Liza Duran's public comment is that she does not want to be a part of a special service district of San Juan County. She wants Bluff to maintain a cemetery. But I will look for that so we can keep it. It may be on my desk. Okay, number 4, discussion and vote on request for overnight use of the Bluff Community Center by Decycle. I kind of went brain dead on this one. I understand Luanne's concerns about when do we do a 501 waiver, when do we not, how do we do it with funerals, whatever. I think we should throw that discussion into the discussion on committees, because it's kind of a policy overview. I know that Malia Collins had some changes she wanted to have us look at rental policies, and I think that's a good one for a work session. But we still need to vote because we have a request that's pending to be able to do the overnight. They are a 501c3 affiliated organization. I verified that before I put it on the agenda last time. I would like to see us have them here overnight. So any other thoughts?
I think it would be good. I mean, we haven't done this to speak of before.
Well, we do it with AmeriCorps though.
Yeah,
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 AmeriCorps
it's
did.
AmeriCorps. So doesn't come up a lot. It's kind of the outlier.
Don't the marathoners stay here too?
You know,
And they RV it. They camp.
They arrive at 6 a.m.
Or earlier. A lot of them stay with me and they're out by 5.
Motion to approve overnight use of Bluff Community Center by Decycle.
second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right.
Anyone opposed? It's unanimous. Then Malia, can you handle that? Thank you. All right, now, this is Malia, Collins on number 5, a discussion and vote on chipping services by Hamadou Chipping at the Cooperative Cultural Center after the fire mitigation weekend. A discussion of charges to the public for pick up of chip material. Discussion and vote on the Bluff Community Center building painting and Fire Mesa kitchen beam staining quotes. Yep. Can I get you to either come up here or I can drag the thing?
Go to the next meeting session. Just kidding. I'll just keep pushing this one out. All right, so the first thing on there is the quote for Hamadou chipping at the Cooperative Cultural Center and Fire Mitigation Weekend. So in last week, I guess Erin also sent it out, the agenda packet special session. Okay, making sure I have everything pulled up. So we have received a quote from Hamadou Chipping that it would cost for option 1, the option of the truck, trailer, and skid steer and the chipper all to come to the CCC and to chip all materials of $1,800. Or option 2, the truck and the chipper, not the skid steer, come to the CCC, but we would have Town of Bluff volunteers moving the wooden branches from the east side of the fence over onto the CCC grounds. That takes $800 off, down to $1,000. I also asked him about the purchase for what he would buy it back for, and it would be more expensive to buy it back than it would. No, I'm sorry. I don't completely understand what he was quoting for buying it back. So to be continued. I'm sorry. Not as ready for this
Let
one.
me bounce a couple things off because we
Yeah.
talked about it a little bit when we were out at the commission as well. He had explained to me that he was trying to base his charging on what he could sell the material for out of his business in Blanding.
Mhm.
Does that help you at all with what you meant with buying it back? Because
Cheaper or more.
It would
I would imagine it would make it cheaper.
It would make it a little bit cheaper, but he would, because I think that's what option 1 is, because he's bringing, no, it's not. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't feel prepared for this one.
It was
It's been a long week.
It was a little confusing to me too,
Yeah.
because I had told him that we would want to keep our materials on site because we wanted to use it for either mulch or compost.
Yeah,
And he didn't seem like he had a problem with that.
yeah.
But I kind of feel like if he's taking the truck, the trailer, that he's planning on taking the material back with him to then have it available to sell.
Okay. My understanding was that this was what he would charge us in order for us to keep it, but
Then I
we
would
can
say
move
that
this.
I'm not sure we're ready to use it just yet. And by the time it sits there a few years, and you don't want it to be in the way of any construction.
It's also gonna attract all kinds of pests and bugs.
I think I would see he'll take it and take off some, so he can take it and sell it
Okay.
and do my.
Do you need to get more information?
I definitely need more information. And my thought was that if we were to leave the chipped materials, we would actually just open it up to the public and say, come and get it. Bring your own stuff, bring your own wheelbarrow and rake and just come and get as much as you can fit. First come, first serve,
And hope it.
and hope that it all disappears. Because if we have any left over, I would be very happy to hire a maintenance person or contract just some work out to move anything that's left around the trees at the CCC. And I think that would take care of just using it as mulch at the CCC, because I don't know if we're really gonna get a whole lot once those few piles are busted up. And I know that Spencer would be very happy to take every single piece of wood chips, and Britt and Joe Paycheck, and
I think we could get rid of it easy. I
Yeah.
don't think that would be a problem. Do we have the volunteers to move the limbs from one side of the fence to the other side of the fence? That's my main concern, because
They can do it.
that's a lot of work for.
They can do it.
I don't love that idea because of
If
how
he
many
can bring the
broken
skid
things
steer down and move it quickly and get it done.
He suggested that and I was like, oof.
I'm just gonna tell you, one of the piles that I moved over, the first pile that I moved over, we loaded by hand. All of the rest of them, we used my skid steer. And it took 3 times longer to stack that truck by hand than it did to pick that stuff up with a skid steer and just get it done.
Yeah, so I apologize for the unorganization.
I was just gonna say, and when we think of like manpower and everything and woman power, if we can prioritize how we utilize volunteer hours.
Exactly.
We've got plenty of
And we
things
have
that they can
lots of
help us.
volunteer hours that have already gone into this project. in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And we need to use those in kind for our grants. That we've already promised our in kind time on. So, okay, I will get back to you guys next week on that one. Let's see, the next one is discussion and vote on the Bluff Community Center building painting and Fire Mesa kitchen beam staining quotes. So the second quote is Prime Painting. It's from Michael Ritter. So previously Paul and Connie Ritter painted this building last time it was painted, years ago. And it is the exterior repaint of the community center 2,500, and what they would do was scrape and sand any peeled paint and prime where needed, and then 1 coat of paint to exterior siding and any trim that needs it. Also, the pergola I added onto it, the metal pergola that we have at our entrance that is also, the paint is peeling, so he will do the same thing there, and $400 for the pergola, and then the Fire Mesa kitchen, the wood needs stained and painted. I don't know in which order, but he does, and it is $700 for that. So these are things that he would do in the fall. He said that he isn't available until then. But I wanted to talk to you guys about it first, see if there's any other information I could provide.
Just one question, when was it painted last? You know,
When I
so we're not-
chatted with Connie, she said years ago.
No.
No, not years ago?
Well, okay, so we're 7 years old.
Okay.
Carol, is the one who, Carol Shook is the one who spearheaded it
Mhm.
when she was doing the BSA. And so we're 7. It was probably 2 years before we took over. So
So about
by
9 years.
years, we're talking less than 10.
But with these guys, it sounds like it was probably back when Linda Richmond would know.
Just for future planning.
Yeah. I can do some research in on that. I can chat with Carol and Linda and get an idea of that. I have in the last few months met with Linda, tried to get a good history on the community center, so I can even revisit those notes and see if it's in there.
Did we apply for any, or did we ask for any locals? Put in a bid for repaint.
So by locals, I went to all of the painting companies that I could find in the Four Corners area. No one got back to me. And so I didn't ask any local contractors to put a bid in. I went specifically looking for painting companies because there are a few spots on the center that it looks like we've had just like some patchwork done, and that's where it's peeling. So I was thinking we need a real paint, not a real painter. I apologize to anyone who is a contractor and paints. Someone who specializes in painting to come in and do the building this time, because there are multiple places that are chipping. But I can go back and get more if that's what the council wants. Your wish is my command.
If they did come under our budgeted amount.
My question is well, it's not even a question. If we need it, we need it. I don't think we can look at the time frame. I mean, to me, that's almost, so what? If it got done 5 years ago or 20 years ago, if we need it, that's really my question. And if that's your opinion that we need it, then
Sorry, my question was more like, when do I budget for it next time?
Yeah.
So like 10 years from now, I'll put it in the budget.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
And then as far as local goes, I mean, this company isn't a Bluff company, but they're Bluff people. They're part of your.
Yeah.
okay, Okay, so are we ready to vote or do we want more information?
Ready to go. I'm just trying to add up what the total is.
44, 45, 35, 34.
Um, uh, motion to.
It's called Prime Heating.
Motion to, accept prime painting, for $3,400.
At the community center.
Yeah, I think that's.
I have a second motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
To,
All right, number,
sorry, to move back to the chipping thing, we don't have enough information to make that decision.
No, I don't feel comfortable asking you guys to make that decision.
So what would?
Unless you guys want.
What's hanging here?
Um,
How much you-
My question is if they're gonna buy it back and if that changes these amounts. I guess I'm not totally sure if these are the amounts that he was thinking he was gonna take some material back with him. So I'll confirm that and we'll talk again next week.
well, you know where to find us, so.
You know, to find me too.
All right, then number 6, a review of bills and vote to approve payment and transfer from the PTIF fund.
No transfer request. I just asked Ann because that's a recurring thing, just so we can get bills paid quickly. No transfer request this week. However, I do have some bills to pay. I also would like some input. So we need to transfer our domain over. And what I'm presenting here is a 1 through 10 year renewal for domain hosting and what the renewal costs are. So you can sign up and get some money off with GoDaddy. How many years do you want to sign up for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years.
0.
For the record, Ann does not like GoDaddy. Sorry, Ann. Our website isn't going to be on their website. They're just hosting.
They're just the host.
So yeah, just looking for some input.
I would say 1 or 2, just so that we have a chance to, work with it. I don't think I'd go really long.
So X-Mission can't host it.
Correct. Yeah, they
Okay.
don't have the capability to.
They were $15.
$15 a month.
It was
Yeah.
nice.
Well, 15 a month, but this is a whole year, so
Yeah.
15 a month times 12.
I'm just a bulk buyer, so that's why I want you guys to tell me which one to do.
That'd be almost 50 more.
Yeah, probably 2
Yes,
years.
180.
This is cheaper.
Here too.
Two's fine. I mean, I don't care if we go with 10 either, honestly, because then you just don't have to worry about it. for a while.
And then the main notes would change with any of the central website changes.
We could move other websites over or use them as the only thing that would change is if we went to like Civic Plus or Revise and use them, then they like host their own site. So
And
maybe 2 years makes sense.
after our discussion last time, which Kevin went pretty quick, are you comfortable with this? Because you do a lot of the website work and are going to train
Yes.
the people. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting there. There's
Okay.
every day a new IT problem, but yeah.
So then why don't we split the difference and go 3 years?
I'm good with 3 years.
Three's fine with me.
Okay, excellent. Besides that, I don't think there was anything else massive. We got a couple things. We talked about EMS appreciation night. Did you guys have any other questions about what was on there?
I have a question.
Mhm.
I didn't know we had a mapping service.
Oh, we don't yet. But it's $11 a month and it's, I can't wait to get you all signed up. So $11 a month, super great usability. We can get GPS devices. We can, it's it's either very user friendly that you can just like plug and play, or we can get down to like the sub-meter GPS stuff. This is going to be something that the interns are working on and getting stuff into the system. It was originally designed for like utilities, like water system. And I did share the information with Mark Powell as well. I did the free trial, seems super usable, and it will help, it'll be better in terms of how we access it than like Google Maps, for example, and like how it's shared and how we protect it. And we can get all the different layers. So, you know, if you just want to see where the signs are, you can do that. Or if you just want to see where the cemetery is, you could do that.
For roads, like you could do roads and types of roads, and you could do the sign inventory on there. Awesome. Okay.
It is fantastic. I can't wait to get you on. I haven't,
I
This
thought maybe
is-
I was missing something.
no, this is going to be brand new as soon as you guys, sorry, that's a good one to call it. But yeah, $11 a month. And it's a great time to get on with the interns coming in.
That's great.
Motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, number 7, a discussion and a vote to add the town manager for access to the PTIF account and to sign supporting public entity resolution by me. So Erin and I talked, she would like to be able to view the PTIF. Is that exactly what you're asking for?
Yeah, I'm not able to get in. I have to like request that our accountant send us the information. So I don't need like the ability to do transfers or anything. That's fine. Like still going through Dave, getting your approval first, but I can't even like go in and see what's in the account right now or look
I'd
at
be
it.
interested to be able to transfer also without having that added, because it's an expense to have the accountant have to stop and do it. It seems to me like we should do that internally. So,
Well, we pay our accountant on a flat fee. We don't pay by the hour.
but it's not like anybody can transfer it out of anywhere, just would transfer into the general fund, it just goes to the bank account.
I will say I am totally fine not having that ability.
Well, if you don't-
I'm fine with that extra step just because it's more documentation that we can give to the auditor. So I don't need that, but I do want to be able to see it. It would be very helpful. View only access is fine.
When you have that access, you can look back at things, you can look, I mean, there's a lot of information you can check on.
Who gives you this accessibility? I mean, how do you get it? Who has it?
Wait, who has what?
You have the access, and so you can add her in or something,
Yeah, I have used the paperwork right here.
but I mean, in the PTIP account, you can go in and, or does it go through electronically and request?
I'm not sure I'm understanding the question. If we approve it, then I will sign the documents, and send it to
They let it in.
PTIF, and they set it up to let it in, just like you do with Zion Bank. We don't go into the account and add people, Zion does. But that's what you're asking, yeah.
Motion to add town manager for access to PTIP account and sign supporting public entity resolution.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? It's unanimous. Number 8, discussion and vote on acknowledgement to the San Juan County deputies and Gary Haas for removal. I guess they're not feral. They're just wandering horses, I don't know, from town boundaries. I have no idea what to call them. That's what I called them. I guess there's something else, but thanks to Jackie Warren for loaning her mare and getting hay, and to Gary Haas for working with Jackie, and to the 3 deputies who came down. And I think at least one, if not all of them, came on their own time, and they brought a horse. So it was Deputy Wyatt Holyoke, Deputy Kavika Susu, and Deputy Jeremy Hamadou.
I have a question. The last time this happened, they ended up, they posted for a month about this abandoned horse. That's what I'm gonna call them, is abandoned horses.
Thank
They're
you.
not feral, they're abandoned. But they did end up auctioning off, and I was asked to be an official in the auction, and I said, I can't do that. I can be a witness, but I cannot be an official sitting on the town board. So if they're going to auction again, because the brand inspector wanted an official for the auction, just do we have policy on it?
We do not, and this so falls under the enforcement, like what do we do?
Yeah.
And if I can, now that I know that I'm not getting a call back from the sheriff, and I know now that the person underneath him is retired, who was Alan Freestone, now I know somewhere in my notes who is filling that position. Maybe I can get the conversation finally going about enforcement, because this is a good example.
Okay.
So hopefully I'm gonna put Gary Hawes on the spot, because obviously he speaks a language they all got.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be good if Gary and I teamed up to approach the deputy department and say, like, what do we need to do to start talking about enforcement? But, they did this on their own, and I didn't know about the auction.
Well, this was last time.
Yeah.
It wasn't this time.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what happens. So that's a good point. But what I did do was I thought I would be doing this quicker, and it got pushed out, but I did, go ahead and get some small gift cards, $50 each for the deputies and for Gary Hawes, not realizing Jackie Warren was a part of that. So I think what I'll do is do that at the coffee shop, since these were for up in Monticello, to thank them for.
That's definitely a team effort, and the panels being set up, and she coordinated with the deputies that got everybody down, got a hold of Gary to have him come help the whole thing, and they were just coming up into her yard, but that's to keep them off the highway is good. And then when they're walking around on all your parts in your house, it's not, they're big to be losing them, just like the cows.
Do we know what happened with them?
What they do is they take them up there and they put them out, that, you know, if they're yours, come claim them.
Right.
And if they're not, then they-
So they haven't been claimed yet. Okay. So they might still, are they still in Bluff?
No.
Okay.
No. They-
So what I need to vote on is to be able to send out what I already got on the credit card with the
Yeah.
gift certificates, and to get Jackie one.
I'm not sure they can accept them, but
Well, if they run off duty time,
yeah.
yeah, and then that'll be their call.
Jackie. Where's Jackie?
So, Jackie Warren has her hand raised. Jackie, do you have a quick comment? Or are you just waving at us?
Looking for a mute, I bet.
I think you're muted. Okay, we're gonna move on. Is there a motion?
Motion to acknowledge, San Juan County deputies on their off time, and Gary Hawes for removal of feral horses from town boundaries.
Okay,
And
Ann,
Yes, Jackie?
go ahead,
Warren?
finish voting. I do not need a gift certificate. It was a community effort. The deputies were fabulous. Thank you for the gift certificate offer, but I don't need one. When I wake up at 2 a.m. and there are horses running down the highway and people are honking, having been on the fire department for 20 years, nothing turns out for the good, the horses or the cars, when that happens. So it was just a public service. So don't vote on giving me anything. And to answer Jen Davila's, I have talked to Rob Wilcox, who is the brand inspector, and we've been through all this before. Yes, the horses are up there. It is illegal to auction off a feral stallion. So the stallion will be cut because he is dangerous and attacked people. They don't know when they do their auctions. Rob Wilcox is the person to contact with that. They have to keep them for 10 days and check for brands. There's a whole process. This was not a fly-by-night deal. I've done it many times before in other towns, cities, etc., where I've had horses. So I just wanted to thank the sheriff and the deputies because they were fabulous. This was not a chore for the week apart, or for non-horse people. And I am just grateful that our large, very busy area has such great participation. It was merely phone calls and coordination, and it got done within a week, which is phenomenal. So if you want to give the deputies gift cards, that's fine. But Gary and I don't need them. It was a real learning experience for us. So thank you all very much.
Well, thank you, Jackie, and thanks for the information.
Can I just ask, it was Pamadou and Kavika Tsushi, and then who's the other one that was involved?
Where did I put it?
Wyatt Holyoke.
Oh, yeah, okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. Okay, now I lost track. Britt made the
I
motion.
motioned it. It sounded like you were.
I seconded it. You were about to call.
All in favor to say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? It's unanimous. All right. Is there any other?
Erin has her hand up.
I'm super excited for this other. So on Wednesday, May 21st, from 6 to 8 p.m., we are having EMS Appreciation Night to recognize our fantastic first responders. It'll be held at the Bluff Fire Station, and we've got all kinds of events going on. It is going to be a potluck style dinner, so we'll have some barbecue, and then if people can bring side dishes or desserts, that's fantastic. If you're able, no pressure. And then, we'll hang out from 6 to 8. There will be plenty of events, but also training from the EMS, like hands-only CPR, stop the bleed, and AED stuff. So I'm putting it out to the community as a come out, hang out with community, but also maybe learn how to save a life and help your neighbors. So, really, really big thanks to them. And if anyone has any questions, let me know. I did get the emails out, and then we'll get flyers posted as well.
Perfect. The flyers look great.
Thanks.
Great, thank you for doing that.
Yep. Any other?
Water board tomorrow.
Water board.
Yes. Oh, please don't say that.
And planning and zoning on Thursday.
Well, okay, we have a change of plans, I guess, for tomorrow night. Oh, unless somebody wants to volunteer and take my place. Okay.
Motion to move into executive session to discuss pending or imminent litigation pursuant to Utah Code 52-4205 and to adjourn thereafter.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It's 6:01 p.m. We will be turning off the recorder, bumping everyone out, and have a good night.